Hi everybody, it's Leslie from Marvelous Art Studios once again. Today I'm going to talk to you about some gold leafing, and this is the product that I'm using. It comes in silver. It can also be found in a kind of a rose gold, I guess you might say, but I found mine at Michael's a couple of years ago. It's still available. I know I've seen it online as well. So this is real fine stuff. So if I move this out of the way, put this into the camera lens here, you can see it is paper thin, and I just lift it up with my brush just ever so finely. And so that's what I'm going to do here in a few minutes. In the meantime, I have partially painted some of the glue. This is the foiling glue. It's for press and peel foil, but it also works really great for this technique with fabric. Again, I got this at the craft store. There's other types of glues. I just recommend one that's going to stay on top of the fabric, otherwise they tend to soak in, and this one doesn't. It just kind of stays on top. What I'm looking to get is just a tacky feel to my flowers, and I've already put the glue on here on this edge of the flower, and it's been drying for at least a half hour now. It's just tacky, and so you want it to have that tack so it really takes up the glue, and you can feel it with your fingers. If you touch it, it's kind of got a tacky feel to it. So this is how I'm going to take one of these flowers, this one right here. I have not done this one yet, and so I'm going to take my bottle of glue, and for this little demonstration, I'm just going to put it right directly on I was going to put it right on my brush. I can also just put it straight on my flower. Just squeeze, maybe I can squeeze a little bit out. Watch this come out like now in a great big glob. There, that's what I want to do. So I've got just a little bit of it there. Let's see if I can get just a little closer. I guess not really. Okay, well, you know, I'm no video artist, that's for doggone sure, huh? Anyway, I'm just spreading this wherever I want to. I don't really have a specific idea. I just know I want it to be a highlight. And on this particular painting, this glue is kind of hard to see because it really does blend right in with the paint. But I always say go lightly and start and add just a little bit. Don't do it the same on every single one, because that's kind of predictable and just a tiny bit boring, and who likes boring, right? So that's all I've done. And I'm going to go back, I'm going to put my lid back on my bottle, and I'm going to make sure I wipe my brush dry of any of that glue. I don't want this glue on that I used with this brush. It really needs to be cleaned with water, and I'm going to do that here off camera. Just going to spritz it with water, and I've got a damp rag here, and then I'm just using my shirt, my sweatshirt, my painting sweatshirt, to get it dry. So high-tech, aren't I? So at any rate, that's how I'm going to start. So I'm going to grab my gold foil, and I decided to go with the gold just for a little contrast, and I'm just going to lightly take a piece and kind of tear it off with my brush. It has a tendency to stick to my fingers too. And so I'm just going to take a little bit of it. I know on this flower, where am I at? Right here, I've got some of the tacky glue. And so I'm just going to lay this down, and I'm just going to press it down. And wherever it doesn't stick, I just peel it up and I press it down again wherever I think I might have some glue. I know I've got glue on here somewhere. I just kind of, and maybe not on that one, but I do on this side. Because it's been a half hour, I can't possibly remember that far back, can I? Well, maybe someday I will, but for right now. And then I'm just taking my dry brush, as you can see on the video, and I'm just scooching, you know, just kind of scraping it, not really scraping, I'm brushing, and I'm just kind of picking it up and putting it back down wherever I think there might be some glue. So, you know, it's kind of a process of touch and feel, because my glue is dried now, and I can't really see it too good on here. But that's all I'm doing is, and I brush the excess away. And then eventually I'll go back and I'll iron this. and I'll set this even more, and it'll kind of make it really nice. I've got another little piece here, and I think this time I'm going to try the silver one, and I'm just going to lay a little piece down here. You know, you can use this when the glue is slightly wet. It kind of means that your brush might get a little wet too, which isn't a terrible thing. I mean, I'm using not a very expensive brush for sure, but it's I prefer to have it more dry. It just seems to be a little more friendly of a process. And you know, when you've got these little flakes, you can keep them on your quilt and keep using them wherever you've got excess glue. I'm just going to pick them up with my brush on the little tip of my brush right there, and I'm going to put it back on, because this is real silver, it is real gold, so it is pretty doggone precious as far as price goes. The price on that was about $10, and that was quite a few years ago, but it really is going to last for a really long time. And so I'm just going to, again, I'm just kind of burnishing it. I think that's the word I'm really looking for, is I'm just sort of burnishing it with my brush. And that might be quite a bit. I might not really like to have quite that much on there if I was doing it for real. But I'm just going to wipe it off with my hand because everything is dry. But it's super pretty. It's not really the greatest lighting down here, but in my studio I'm going to continue to go on, and that's kind of how I do it. It's a very freeing kind of a thing. There's no rhyme or reason necessarily. I'm just kind of going by and tapping it down and putting the glue down wherever I think I want it to be. So enjoy this. It's really fun. You can practice on lots of little scrappy things first. Of course, it's great on all kinds of other surfaces, glass and wood, plastics. But I'm going to continue on, and then I'll show a picture of my final piece. So hope that helps. Let me know. Put your comments in the questions, and be sure to like or follow and share the post, and let me know what you think. Thanks again.